Folks, we're talking to Mr. Cody Loos, a native Texan, Victoria.
Yes, sir.
Represent.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. And we're going to talk about the big initiative of saving South Texas today.
Absolutely. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal because animals, they are close to all of our hearts. There's very few people in the world that don't like dogs.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Ones you got to watch out for.
Exactly. You got to watch out for them. But before we kick things off and talk about the organization here, I've got something for you. A little tasty candy.
I saw these.
Yeah. They're pretty good. It's something that we like to do on this podcast.
Uh-oh.
Just to kind of break the ice a
There we
little
go.
bit.
What it's all about, the icebreaker. So I thought that these were warheads. I looked at them first, but
Oh, no. Warheads are super sour.
if I fall over on the floor, at least they're on camera.
Exactly.
Toxic waste.
Yeah, I was hiking a mountain that was super steep. It's called the Incline,
Yeah.
Colorado Springs.
I haven't
You ever heard of it?
No.
So people flying from around the world to do this thing. Oh, man, this thing's sour.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like warheads, so.
Yeah. Ooh, it's good. And I said to my buddy, look, if I fall, I just need you to do me one favor. He goes, what's that? I said, please just record it. Gotta make it worth it.
Right.
Right. So when did you kick off Saving South Texas, man?
So we started in September of 2022. So.
Sorry, these things are great.
No, they're good. They're good.
This is so funny.
Yep.
Yep.
So
What inspired it?
So it really goes back to my wife and her sister and their family. It's just they've revolved around animals. I've known my wife for 7 years. Been married 6.
Wow.
And whenever we first started dating, her parents had 23 dogs at their place.
Dang.
And I was like, that should have been my first red flag. Like, what's going on with these people? No.
No, dude, that's a lot of dogs, bro.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Like,
It's a lot of dog food.
Right, yeah. So, they would find them on, going across the street in Victoria, South Texas, where we're from, and bring them home. They would try to save a lot, take them, go to their local clinic, make sure, they check out, get any health screening done that they need. But yeah, so they had 23 dogs. They had probably about half of those inside dogs, half of them were outside dogs. So ranging from small to large. At that time, they actually had, I think, 4 from the same litter. And you'd walk in and, it was just a madhouse. It's a mess. That's all.
Where do they find these dogs?
My wife has a sixth sense for finding animals. We'll be driving down the road and she'll see a stray dog and it's like, we got to stop. Like there's no question about it. It's going to happen. We got to try to help the dog. Right.
Yeah.
So anytime we're going down the highway, going down the side street, if there's a stray dog, we're there to help it. So that's how they acquired, 23 at the time that I met her. And it's been a adventure ever since.
Well, it must have built some kind of nice space for them.
Yeah. Her parents live on a decent-sized lot in Victoria, and they've got a dog house for the outside dogs. The inside dogs, they would have cages, or they'd run free if they all got along. And just a little bit of a circus there for a while, just trying to coordinate the dogs, because that's for 24 hours a day you're taking care of dogs, right? It's so. But yeah, that's really, and they've done that for a very long time, and they just wanted to make a organization such as Saving South Texas to get the word out, educate, along with the rescue dogs, and not have their parents take care of all the ones they've had saved so far.
Seriously.
So they turned it into a 100% volunteer-based nonprofit.
Oh, wow.
So going out finding other people who have big hearts for animals that have extra space, extra time. We provide funding for the fosters, and then while they're in foster, we get all the medical done on them, so they're 100% healthy, ready to go. We find animals that are injured. We mainly stick to dogs and cats, but we've come across some that have broken legs, that have got hit by cars, that were just neglected, starving. So we get them back to health, we'll bring them into our care. Me and my wife, we've kept them at our house for weeks, months at a time.
Is that where you keep them all?
Not all of them,
No.
No. Just some that we need, an immediate home for.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make space and make it work for that period of time until we can find a foster or until they get nursed back to health, until they're good and they don't need, kind of supervised care.
What was it like in the process? Because there's some people that are listening to this that probably want to do something similar.
Sure.
Maybe it's not animal rescue, but it's a volunteer-based organization,
right.
Let's say.
Yep.
What is it like to actually establish oneself as that?
Yep. So
Is there legal things?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where some of my background with starting, a few different startups before this, where I came in and kind of helped. And I started off as their CFO, just taking care of like the books and helping them along, kind of giving them direction, pointing them where to go next. But it's very similar to starting up a normal small business, a corporation or LLC or sole proprietorship. But you want to file it with the state of Texas. You go through a pretty long process to get 501c3 status.
Oh, so you're all official.
Official, yep. Yep. So you definitely want to, take the right path. And
how do you do it?
So you get with the Secretary of State,
Yep.
Texas, and you send in their required paperwork. And it's not a simple process, but they want to make sure that you're legit and not starting up like a side hustle nonprofit to funnel money into, it's
Sure.
Yeah. So
Sure. Is there an interview process involved?
there's not, no. It's several forms that you fill out and send in, and you go through a vetting process.
Yeah.
No interviews, but you go through, and like I said, they just want to make sure that you're legit. And unlike starting a normal LLC or corporation or small business for profit, the nonprofit does have certain periods that you have to go through, depending on how much money you raise. They want to keep a close eye on what the funds are being spent on.
How do they do that?
So you do tax returns.
Okay.
You have to fill out kind of your financial statement as well, because you can go and you can be saving animals but not be 501c3 certified or registered.
Right.
So you may have financials from 1 to 3 years. So we would pull that and send it to them to get that 501c3 certification. So there's insurance. Obviously insurance. You want to go get.
Do you need that?
Absolutely.
Who says? The state?
It's best just to cover yourself. Just like with any business, you want to make sure that you're covered.
Right.
In the case of in this situation, a dog maybe bites a foster or adopter, or we've had issues, or not issues, but circumstances where dogs may get loose, and maybe they get injured or they injure someone else,
right.
And we just have to have protection on what the nonprofit's doing, so we can continue to go out there and help animals and not get caught up in a financial issue where it may close the doors, frankly. So
yeah.
It's always good to have insurance in any kind of business, whether it's for profit or nonprofit. Definitely recommend getting insurance on it. But there's special nonprofit animal insurance to protect against dog bites, right? So that was a whole learning experience. We get a special nonprofit lawyer to kind of go through and tell us what we need, what we're missing, where we're at, and you just keep kind of building that up too. On
what I heard you just say is get a lawyer.
Right.
Really,
Sure.
It's that intense.
It can be, yeah.
Dang.
Yep, because you want to have forms in place for your fosters, adopters. There are people out there that try to take advantage of the system. You're out there, you try to do right by the animals, and it doesn't happen often, but it comes up where if you don't have it in writing and you're not setting expectations with, it could be a transporter, the foster, adopter. There's different situations that come up, just like with any other business that you want to be protected for. So I'd highly recommend getting a lawyer to look over everything.
Yeah, not only look over everything, maybe even help you navigate the process a little bit.
Absolutely.
Along the way.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Because it's not like you're saying, hey, lawyer, please look at this stuff. Okay, see you later. No, it's more of an ongoing relationship.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, you're constantly learning, you're constantly evolving, making the process more efficient. Your terms and conditions, your contracts that you sign. I mean, we're like I said, it's a 100% legitimate process that we go through to get these dogs into a safe home where we know they're going to be taken care of at the end of the day. And we even, outside of just the paperwork side of it, we'll do FaceTime with the potential fosters or adopters and do a home walkthrough. If they're local here in Austin, we'll go walk the house. You know, is this dog safe in this, residence? Is it the residence built to house a dog? Does it have a backyard? Does it have a fence? Can the dog, get to other, can they escape? So
where did you learn to do that? I mean, was it something? Did somebody tell you to do that before you started fostering them out?
No. It was going through the process, using past experience from my wife and her sister as well. They've it's a constant necessary evil, if you will, but you have to make sure that where your dogs are housed, that they're in a sheltered place. They can't get out through a hole and then get out onto a street and get back into danger. Obviously, dogs they're curious, so they'll dig holes. They'll dig out of fences. They'll go over fences. They'll go through some fences. So it's a process to go through and vet, a potential foster or adopter for that. So, but yeah, it's going. Like I said, my wife, they've done this since they were little. Their parents had big hearts for animals, and just going through what they've seen in the last 10, 15, 20 years of having these animals. We've used that within the nonprofit to help build it up and establish where we're at today.
So they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah. Not necessarily underneath the 501c3 nonprofit status or business, but it was more personal. It's like, hey, let's take this personal thing that we have and turn it into a passion and a business and make it legit and do everything we can to help, animals at the end of the day on a larger scale than what we were able to do from a personal stance.
Yeah, because I was going to ask that. Why choose the 501c3 route when you could technically do it all without all that red tape and stuff?
Yeah. No, it kind of goes back to obviously the point of a nonprofit is to raise funds that go straight to the animals, right? Mm-hmm. We're not raising funds to get a paycheck. No one on our team gets paid. It's 100% volunteer, including the owners.
Dang.
And it doesn't have to be like that. A nonprofit, you can get paid, but that's just how big the hearts are for everyone that's involved. And that's the type of people that we want helping us. And we want as much of the funds raised to go to the animals as possible.
Rightfully so.
So,
yeah. So how much investment do you typically need from volunteers to continue this in a year, let's say? So
we've run really low overhead in the back office. So we do all the financials ourselves. We do all the bookkeeping, all the dog coordination in-house. So we go find some of our board members. They're all volunteer-based, right? So people that we've run across that want to help and, they're not looking for a paycheck.
Yeah.
We bring them on, and we've had ones that have been with us from the start that have been just a huge impact with us. But yeah, it goes... as far as the investment goes, I mean, every dog that we save, we put, it's at least anywhere from, on the low end, like $300 to $400, but it can be as high as $4,000 to $5,000 if they need, significant repair bills.
Per dog.
Absolutely. Dang. And then we also transport. So we'll pull them out of South Texas just because it's so overly populated with stray dogs.
When you say South Texas, where's the border?
So we've gone one city that we deal with pretty often, besides Victoria, where it started.
Are we in South Texas now, in Austin?
Yeah, I would call us Central Texas.
Or Central.
Yeah, Central or
is San Antonio
Hill Country.
South Texas? Ish.
It's getting there.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, we get down to, you go to like Corpus Christi, Brownsville.
That's south.
But one city that we deal with a lot that is a huge problem is San Diego, Texas. So we've got a ton of volunteers down there, and that is definitely South Texas.
Now, you said a problem.
Yeah. So there's a lot of there's a education issue that just people want dogs, right? You want to get them for your kids. They're cute. Maybe people want to make money. They want to breed them. And they don't understand the repercussions of just going out and getting a dog. They don't understand the responsibilities. So they go out and get one dog, and that dog, maybe it doesn't have a fence to run around in, and it gets pregnant and has a litter of 6 dogs. Now they have 7, and it's like, what do we do with these dogs? They're just running loose. Some get out. They don't care. They don't have collars on them. So around in South Texas, it's bad because it's so close to Mexico. And Mexico has a huge dog issue, problem too.
When you say issue or problem, what do you mean?
Just overpopulation.
Is that what it is?
It's a breeding issue, and there's no regulation on it.
Yeah.
So if you want to go out and breed dogs, you can and sell them, and make money off of it. But there's no vetting process. There's no contract. It's like, hey, come pick up your dog for $20, $40, $60, and whatever happens to it, it's really not their problem anymore. And that's where the overpopulation is just constant, breeding, and strays are not fixed out on the street. It sounds funny, but they're out there having dogs, having little puppies.
Every day.
Unsupervised.
Unsupervised.
Yeah.
Are you usually supervised for that sort of thing?
Well, it's
no,
good.
Stop. I get what you're saying.
But yeah, it's the main, that's a huge focus on the nonprofit is getting, when I say go in and get their health checks, obviously to make sure they're healthy, but also getting neutered and spayed so they can't reproduce.
How much does it cost to do that?
It's not very expensive for the spay and neuter. You're looking at probably $100. We can get discounts as well.
For such a significant thing.
Right.
And you can get a discount on it.
Yeah.
We go to Costco?
We work with a ton of animal hospitals to be able to get discounts, right? So, and they also have one day a year, they'll have a free neuter day where you bring your dog in and they'll neuter it for free, just to try to help the cause, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of our biggest focuses, and why we want to put our hands on the animals as well, is just to make sure obviously they're healthy, but that they can't reproduce.
Dude. So where do you keep the dogs that aren't at your house?
So we have volunteers in Austin and Victoria. Sometimes we'll have them in San Diego or out of state. We'll fly them. We've actually put dogs on planes before and sent them up to New York.
Fun.
We have one of our board members is out of New Jersey. Yeah. So she has a presence in that area. So we're constantly trying to find people that have big hearts that will help these animals, and we'll have them foster them for a few weeks and put them up for adoption.
Yeah. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTube clips on dogs that are just jacked up, man.
Yeah.
In the backyard of somebody's house or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you see that kind of stuff too, or did you see them after they get kind of polished up a little bit? Or
no, there are dogs that they have an owner. Yeah. They have a place to live per se. They may not have a dog house. They may not be getting fed. They're dogs that are that need help, that aren't necessarily that we are not always able to help. So you drive by a yard and a dog is you can see its spine, you can see its ribs. It's not being fed. It's dirty.
So you see that
on a chain. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you just go drive around some of these South Texas towns, and you see it all a lot.
It's common.
Yeah. Yep. But a lot of people just in those areas, they turned a blind eye to it per se, and it's kind of just it's normal, and they're not educated on it, right? So they were raised to have dogs on chains without a doghouse in the sun. They get sunburnt, they get skin cancer just like a human does. So it's
growing up, my dad had 2 dogs. Year round they're outside,
right?
Snowing in New York. Right. And I would say to him, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then towards the tail end of one of our dog's life, when he was limping around because his joints were jacked up, he let him inside. I'm like, what the? But then the next dog, finally, inside dog, lived a great life.
Yeah.
His best buddy. But it's like, to your point, where'd my dad grow up? In the mountains of New York. Yeah. Literally his school was 20 people, right? And that's just what they know.
Right.
So to your guys' initiative, educating people.
Absolutely. And I'm an advocate as well, an example too, because I grew up on a ranch.
Oh boy.
100 acres, and we always had outside dogs. They'd go run out with the cows, and we didn't really think much about it.
Fun.
We obviously kept them fed and kept them healthy, but they would go out and get in a fight with a pretty big boar that has tusks, and it'll rip them open. And it's like, dog's gonna be a dog, and we'd let it heal up. And that's where my wife opened my eyes to, maybe that's not the best thing for them, and we need to go. If that does happen, we've showed up, and one of our dogs was cut open. And to my parents, it was normal. My wife saw it and was like, "That dog needs help, right? It could get infected. They could die from it, frankly." So we ended up taking that actual dog and took it and got it sewn up and cleaned up, and still running around my parents' place today. And it's changed their outlook on the situation as well too. And now they're they sleep inside now. So it was a big eye opener. And
when it comes to domesticated animals, right? I gotta get this off my mind, because I go through this thought process a few times, probably a year, coincidentally. All right. There's only a handful of domesticated animals: dogs, cats. What else? What else can you get in your house and it's normal?
Horses.
A horse?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Not too many of them though.
No.
Right. So, and then in some countries. You might know where I'm going with this, dude. Some countries, it's their dinner.
Right.
So what is it? How come we hold dogs in such a high regard, right? We got dog shows. We fall in love with them. They're our friends, our companions. I mean, while other countries are out there eating them and like it's no big deal. What is that?
Yeah. It goes back to how they were raised and what's done in their culture versus what's done in our culture. I think we see dogs specifically as man's best friend, right? And we've always raised them as a pet. Same with the horse. Obviously, you get into poultry or chicken, cows. Yeah, the farming. No
emotional attachment to them.
Right.
For the most part.
Well,
you could though.
Yeah, no,
you literally could.
No, absolutely. My all the time. My parents have cows. We'll go out there, and my wife, wants to name them, and and it's you get attached to them. And growing up, we would have ones that I had names for, and you didn't want to see anything happen to them. But there's also the other side of it too that I am privy to of going hunting, for deer.
Sure.
So you see it as a way to survive as well. Obviously, in today's day and age, it may not be as emphasized as it was, a couple hundred years ago.
Well, I just bought my first hunting rifle last week.
Awesome.
I'm pumped. This is 308.
Oh, that's
Mossberg.
a good one. Yeah.
No, not Mossberg. Browning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We should go to the range.
Should.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's sick. Let's go get some deer meat, dude. Come on.
It's some good stuff.
So what has been the most eye-opening experience for you? Not with the dogs per se, but just doing this whole 501c3 thing.
Absolutely. So I think the biggest eye-opener is not only just how many animals out there need our help, but from kind of a 180-degree view, it's how going through the rescue process and making sure that wherever they end up, it is their forever home. We're not. It's not people getting them that aren't responsible to handle a dog. So, just going through the vetting process and the contractual process, and touching every dog, and just making sure that wherever it's our responsibility where they go, right? So, making sure wherever we place them that it is a sufficient, safe, healthy home for that animal. And at the end of the day, that's what our mission is, to get these dogs into a sustainable home.
It's a lot of work.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're stuff you don't even think of, which was eye-opening as well, is people trying to take advantage of the system. People look
not in your organization.
Not within our organization.
Because you're in the space, you still see it.
Absolutely.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So there are people out there that want to do harm and kind of cover it up, right? So you have people that look at a nonprofit like, hey, how can I take advantage of the nonprofit? Or maybe I can get a dog at a discount and get this nonprofit to pay for all the expenses, and let me see how long I can get them to pay for the food. So Yeah, it's little things like that where we just have to be careful and make sure that the dogs are in everyone's best interest involved.
Okay.
So
Okay. Well, let's shift gears here a little bit. That's very helpful, by the way.
yeah, that's good stuff.
Because even I was contemplating opening up a 501c3.
Right.
What I've gained from what you're talking about here today is that, or what I've learned rather, is that you definitely need a team.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's a lot to it. You run your own payroll. You have board members that help with all this stuff.
Right.
And you're working full-time, overtime all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're a business owner.
Right. Yeah, we have inventory just like a normal company would. We've got crates, dog supplies. We get a lot of donations in from some pretty big companies as well, dog food companies that send us food. So we take that in and just distribute it out. And it's a full-time job.
Just the fact that you have to go out and ask these companies. You probably get a lot of no's along the way, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because what's in it for them?
Right.
They don't even get brand exposure.
Right.
Right? It's not like you're marketing. You're like, hey, we're a nonprofit. You guys should use Pedigree.
Right.
No, because you're busy doing other stuff. You're doing the meat and potatoes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah. And we do fundraising, which you've been a big part of. You've done incorporated some of the fundraising in with some of your stuff, and that's been super helpful. But similar to that, setting up tents, going out, and just like you said, brand awareness. We want to make sure people know that we're there, not to be a crutch to take owners that are unresponsible and take their pets from them, but save the real animals that need saving. That are out on the street, that are on literally their last leg, to be able to put them in a good home and get them back to healthy. So,
dang. What's the worst case scenario of a dog you've ever seen when you pull up to a house?
So I think the big ones that we've seen that are really tough are the ones that are on chains, that don't get fed regularly, that are out in the South Texas sun. And they don't have any hair.
Gosh,
their skin is starting to burn, and it just has long-term effects over 10, 15, 20 years. That's another case of my wife.
Dogs live to 20?
No, but
they can.
We'll say 10 to 15.
10, okay, yeah. Some old dogs. Okay. Your wife. So what are you saying about your wife?
So one of the dogs that they had when I met her had very bad sun exposure, and it was constantly having to go in to get these cancer spots removed from its skin. So you talk about painful and expensive just from someone being careless with the animal. It has long-term effects, and they just don't care. They don't realize. They don't know that it's an education thing too.
So how are you guys intentionally? You might not be, because your bandwidth could be super stretched out. You might be too busy saving the dogs and getting them into homes. How do y'all proactively educate the public? Do you do like a workshop kind of thing, or is that not yet? Is that
no?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. We the way we educate is every person that we come in contact with, it's having, whether it's paperwork, a phone conversation, doing that walkthrough of their home. We're constantly empowering them to make the right decisions and pick. We're always educating as well, right? And I think every little piece of that kind of goes towards just getting the word out.
Sowing seeds. It's not like you're formal about it.
No, not super formal unless it's an event where we've got a tent set up and we bring dogs in.
Then definitely.
Sure.
That's 100%.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
so events.
Right.
Getting the tent popped up, talking with the public.
Right.
And you bring dogs?
Yeah, we'll bring dogs.
Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. People love dogs. We got to.
Dude.
Yeah, we don't just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk, right? So we'll bring 10, 15 dogs to some of our events. And they'll wear little Adopt Me bandanas, and if you see a dog, it's kind of love at first sight sometimes, and oftentimes people want to take them home, but we do have to go through the proper process with the kind of the vetting process. So it usually takes a couple days.
That's not terrible.
No. But we'll train. Like I said, if someone is out of state, sees them on the website or social media, we're constantly kind of putting them out there on telling their story, right? So
because they do have a story.
Absolutely.
legitimate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we've put them on planes before, put them on a transport to wherever they're going. Like I said, as far as we've gone as far as New Jersey, New York.
How much is a dog plane ticket?
So the good thing also about being a nonprofit is a lot of people out there want to help.
Okay.
So there's folks out there that have planes that will volunteer to bring them on their flight at no charge. So it's a pretty special thing.
Well, I still want to know, a dog. Like, if you wanted to fly your dog to Hawaii and your human ticket's $1,200, is the dog ticket more or is it less?
I guess it depends if it can fit in your lap or not.
That's a great question. Yeah, right. So I gotta ask, how can people get a hold of y'all if they want to either donate, volunteer, ask questions? What are the best ways to find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have all of our dogs on our website, savingssouthtexas.com.
Okay.
And all of our Instagram, Facebook,
all Saving
TikTok.
South Texas?
Yes. Yep. All the handles are on our website as well, so that's kind of a good source to find everything. We have QR codes if you want to donate. There's all of the dogs with their story on there as well. So if you find one that you grow attached to, then let us know.
Wow. Yeah, this has been really eye-opening because I've never had a conversation specifically, one, about 501c3s, and two, what it's like to be in the dog rescue business.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot to that. So, yeah, this podcast, I don't know, it's called the Elite League Podcast, okay? The reason we title it that is because we want to bring in people that want to be the light in the dark, right? That's our version of elite. People that have a big heart, that are making changes in the world. And y'all definitely fit that mold. So, folks, if you're listening or watching, make sure to go to Saving South Texas. Even if you got $5, drop a donation. Why not? It's going to help some dogs. It'll feed them for a couple days.
Absolutely.
Cody, any words of inspiration that you want to share with the entire world that's listening to this?
Sure, yeah. I mean, so, what we do, like I said, it's not to collect a paycheck. It's not for any financial gain. If you donate to any nonprofit, make it one that you truly believe in, that is doing right by their mission, right? So there's a lot of people out there that will try to take advantage of the system, like I'd mentioned earlier, and just do a little bit of research on them, make sure that their heart's in the right place.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you so much, Cody. And if you guys want to hear a little bit about the entrepreneurial drive that Cody has, make sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this episode series. We're going to drop 2 because we want to focus, 1, on the 501c3 and 2 on the dog or the animal rescue business. Is it a business? The industry, animal rescue industry.
Yep.
We're also got to talk about what he's got going on for him and his family. So stay tuned for episode 2. My name is Greg Carlson, your host of the Elite League Podcast. Till next time, stay fired up.